Waiting on purpose isn't laziness, it's a choice and an action. There's no way I'm going to be insulted when I call my video channel Crippled CEO. If you've been watching these for a while, then first, thank you. That is really cool of you. But also, you know that I've been making a fairly serious attempt to get as good as I can at chess. I started taking lessons 3 times a week from international master and all-around great guy, Vitaly Namer, in July of 2020, and I spend a good chunk of my free time playing chess, watching videos about chess and reading about chess. And yeah, I've seen the show on Netflix, it's great. There are 3 insights that chess has put a spotlight on for me, which apply to real life, that I want to share with you. And I don't mean the typical thinking 3 steps ahead trope that you would probably expect. The first is chess blindness. When you first start playing chess, it is very common to just give away an important piece like a queen for no reason. You're looking at everything so intensely, but somehow you just missed this very obvious thing right in front of you. While this does get better as you practice, it doesn't seem to ever go away completely. And there are a gang of examples of even world-class level grandmasters somehow going blind for a moment and donating a piece or making an obvious mistake. As you experience this over and over and over and over again, and I certainly have, you realize how much more susceptible you are to missing something important right in front of you because you're focused elsewhere on something far less important than you think you are. You think you will notice this huge, critically important issue, but if you're distracted by something else, there's a good chance you might miss it. In chess, we're taught to take a moment each turn and look for checks, captures, and threats in that order, a sort of mental safety checklist to try to help mitigate this. In real life, you can do something similar, but just being aware of how likely you are to miss something, both major and obvious, will help you to be more careful. The second thing is time pressure. All real chess is played with some kind of time control. Each player is given a set amount of time to play all of their moves. This can be 2 hours or 2 minutes or anything in between. Either way, when it's your move, your clock is ticking down. Time pressure is the word for the dramatic impact on your play that occurs when you're low on time. Even the best players in the world become mere shadows of themselves when the clock is getting close to 0. We all know that we are prone to mistakes when we're rushed or that we don't think as clearly, but it's hard to appreciate the full extent of how compromised you are until you see it play out on the 64 square board. In chess, especially online, you can go back and look at your game again, so the idiotic mistakes that you make because of the time pressure are clear as day right in front of you. You typically can't do that in real life, so it's hard to speculate on what you would have done differently, but chess makes it brutally apparent. Being pressured by a lack of time makes you dumb. You do things that you would never in a million years do otherwise. Tim Ferriss refuses to jump on any opportunity or investment, no matter how good it seems, if there is a short deadline or if he feels pressured by time, and that makes sense. Outside of chess, deadlines and time pressures are almost always artificial. You can almost always get more time if you need it. The sneaky thing about time pressure is that in the moment, you know that you're rushed, but you still think you're making the best decision. It's only after the fact, when you have more time to think, that you realize your mistake. The solution to this is, whenever possible, like Tim, don't make decisions when you're short on time. Prioritize giving yourself more time to think. Ask yourself, what's the absolute worst thing that will happen if I don't make this decision right now? Usually, it's not that bad. Give yourself the time, even when you don't think you need it, because you do. The last thing is tilt. I first learned the concept of tilt playing poker. It has the exact same meaning in chess. The name comes from pinball machines, which would display the word tilt as an error message when the table was lifted or moved violently, as often happens when somebody's upset. In chess and poker, someone is tilted or on tilt. When something goes wrong, they get upset and then start making bad decisions and playing poorly. My first ever blog post, number 001, was actually about this. Scientific studies have shown that we lose a substantial number of IQ points when we're in a bad mood, and the more upset we are, the worse it gets. The basic idea of the post and the lesson we can learn from chess is that you're incapable of making the best decisions when you're upset by something terrible that has happened to you. You are tempted to try and fix the problem right away, but doing so only makes it worse. The solution is to wait. Don't do anything until your state of mind improves. Waiting on purpose isn't laziness, it's a choice and an action, and it's often the best one. There are a ton of other lessons that we can extract from chess and apply to our lives. Like there's the idea of prophylaxis, which is where you see a problem coming and you protect against it ahead of times. There's how improvements come slowly in inches, not miles, and so on. But I thought that these three were the ones that you don't hear about the most and were the most interesting to me. Now, you can benefit from them without spending a couple hours a day getting beat up by better chess players. You know who didn't want to use any prophylaxis last night? Your mom. She is wild. She also subscribes to my channel and likes all my videos, and you should too. Thank you so much for watching. Thank your mom for not giving me herpes, and you will see me on the next one.